Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. I am pleased to have NBA champion Samaki Walker with me, who played in the triangle offense when he won that ring, and of course that's near and dear to my heart. And I thought we could talk a little bit about when you're posting up in that initial alignment where you have a guy in the corner and a guy in the wing, and you get the ball. Can you just walk us through the process of what you have to do and how those reads work for you?
Sure. First thing we want to realize is that with this offense that it's 15-foot spacing. And you don't have to worry about guys being cramped up. That's the beauty about the triangle offense. Once the ball comes into initial post, obviously the guards have several options. The guard can cut off, the first guard can cut off and go baseline. The guard in the corner can actually cut off middle. Or the guard at the top can come down for the wing and the baseline. He can set a down pick and have the guy from the corner cut off. And then he can proceed and go baseline. And what it does, it creates motion. And after that, it's the beauty about the triangle offense. You don't have to be a great dominant, you don't have to have a great dominant big man. But what you want are guys who can make decisions, decision makers.
Okay.
And unfortunately, if you get a guy like Shaq, then you really luck out. Because what it does, when you get guys who are cutting now it opens this floor because our guys are good scorers. The most important part, and this is one of the things I want to stress because the triangle gets a lot of flack. And when you see the triangle not worked well, it's usually because guys are not cutting hard. You have to be unselfish in this offense. Guys will get shots when you make the right cuts and you cut hard. And so what Shaq used to do is that Fish and B. Shaw, whether it was Ori or me out there, we understood that we had to cut off. Because with Shaq, he was a great passer, and he would use that as his option. And it also takes live bodies. What happens when you have cutters? You have live bodies now have to sort of rotate over to take the threat of the layup away.
Right, so if I'm guarding you and now there's cutters and you do a shot fake, a pass fake, look, I might do that. What does that do for you? Absolutely.
Now, takes the body off, I have to go baseline. Or, same way. Now I got a guy cutting baseline, and I'll fake the handoff. Right into my move. And
by the way, you don't need me to actually even step over there, right?
All I need is you shift, a shift.
Right.
I don't even need this, a good point. And a lot of players are looking for
this little thing.
Yeah, for the seated part up. And basketball is about angles in space. Once he shifts to that side, now you have the angle. What you do next is important. Seal. Now I take the angle, I'm going to the basket.
Let's talk about pinch post because it's another lost art, I feel like, and it's a great, devastating move to get the ball, especially when you get the ball to the high post. So let's just quickly discuss pinch post over here, which it's actually, the way I describe it, it's an action, but it's also an area, right? So show us where the pinch post is for you guys when you're on the NBA.
Absolutely. This area was an amazing area to catch the ball because it left you with a lot of options if you were a guy who could make decisions. When I first got to the Lakers, Rick Fox had played this position, had won multiple championships, at that time, and he was the guy that I was told to watch. Rick wasn't the most athletic guy in the world, wasn't the most explosive, but he had a high IQ and he had good fundamentals of staying low. One of the things you want to do in this this pinch post, first thing you want to do is get position. You want to get wide. Now, you have the ball, you're claiming your position. You got the cutters coming off here.
Right.
You have options. The cutter can come off here. So you can give him that. And what happens again? The defense normally has to shift. And if you're a guy that can go to the basket, this opens up. Or what used to happen is guys would come off, maybe you would go to the backdoor step, what we call the backdoor step. The pinch post. We would be here. The play action is actually happening on the other side of the floor. And so what happens is this is a read. We should make a point that everything is a read. There's no play calling in this offense. So what we do is now we take this, we go straight to the pinch post. And what Rick Fox was really good at now, he was able to get this spot. And what's really important are pivots out of the pinch post. Our fundamentals are key. He would use a reverse pivot, get low, and he was one dribble to the basket every time. And he was a lot of pressure on defenses because you don't have to be the most athletic guy, but you do have to have a strong, hard dribble and a low rip through.
That's awesome. I mean, the pinch post is such a devastating thing. I wish, had you played that position before in college or before you got to the Lakers?
It wasn't necessarily I played the high post, and it is not the same until you understand what the options are at the pinch post. So I would have to say no.
Okay.
So totally different from catching the ball there and here, and really understanding of having a plethora of options here, including scoring and passing.
In the 82-game schedule, it seems to me that one of the benefits of having that many games is that you get to run this option a lot, right, with different sequences of people. Did you notice that, man, when Fish throws me that ball, it's a lot better than when Fox throws it to me and goes through? Did you sense that pairings were working out there throughout the season?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime Fish would throw the ball, it was always because he had the ability to shoot. And Fish understood that. He wasn't a guy who was the most athletic point guard. He didn't over dribble. He was perfect for this system. Once he gave a pass, he knew how to set guys up and create separation. And once you got it, you knew. Of course, he wasn't going to attack the basket, but he always would know when to do things. And that's the beauty about this offense. It gives you an opportunity to put defenses asleep and explode and create space. And with that, you're always going to be one step ahead of the defense.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm reminded of the playoffs when you guys were against the Kings. And I don't know if you mind, but remember the half-court shot that you hit?
Sure.
I mean, do Laker fans come up with you and still mention that to you and thank you for making that?
And it do. I get a lot of love. It was huge to that shot. I mean, going into halftime with 25 points down was huge. And, coming out, we seemed to come out that next half, whether the shot had anything to do with it, but we seemed to come out with a lot more energy the second half, and we erased the deficit, within like the first 5-10 minutes of that game, which put us in position.
Now, it's not, I don't want to say it's controversial, right, but it seems to me that when you look at that play again, maybe if they had replay, they wouldn't have counted that shot, right?
Very important point, and I think that is one of the reasons the shot clock was implemented in the NBA, was that shot, and so I guess I have a little something to contribute to basketball history there.
So the replay rule came in because of that shot?
Absolutely. I think there was another shot with Baron Davis that year in the playoffs that was also controversial. And so, but yes, that is the reason why the shot clock has been implemented. Not that they might have not been thinking about it, or the replay, I'm sorry, for years, but I think that the controversy really set precedent and they pushed it.
Wow. And then what was that feeling like when you were sitting there? Were you on the court or were you watching when the ball got tipped back out?
I had a front row seat. No, it was amazing. You couldn't have scripted a better situation. I mean, think about it. If Lottie just tried to grab the ball and tip it somewhere else, this is a different series. We don't win a championship. But the ball goes, thanks to Shaq's ability to be himself, the threat of grabbing the rebound, he tipped it out, and big shot Bob.
Well, there you have it, sports fans. Some awesome insight into how you play the low post area and the pinch post of the triangle offense. Completely viable. Cannot wait to see the Knicks run it right this year. And again, don't forget, sports fans, at B-Ball Breakdown, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in? You in, Samaki?
I'm in.